and streets ahead of Liverpool. They're now within 4 points of Arsenal. That gap being reduced, Arsenal drawing last night at Sunderland, and just the overall dominance of City this afternoon. Would you be nervously looking over your shoulder?
I think Arsenal will be nervous because of it's Man City. And they've done this to them twice before. Twice in the last 3 years, Manchester City have come from behind and caught Arsenal. And also the manner of the victory today. That first half performance with Man City was a little bit like, they're playing Liverpool. Liverpool are the champions. They absolutely took them the cleaners. And I think on the back of Arsenal dropping points against a promoted team who were doing absolutely fantastically well in the Premier League, Sunderland, they'll have been hoping for a draw. They'll have seen City's not just win, but performance, and probably getting a few flashbacks to what's happened the last couple of times when they felt they had a great chance at the title. And it might be a long 2 weeks thinking and worrying about Manchester City for Arsenal supporters and players.
And genuinely, that plays into the psychology then, because it's not like, say, there's a midweek Premier League game or even just one next weekend where you reset and go again. It's 2 weeks to think about it.
Yeah, and that's the problem with international break when you don't have a great result. There's a long time to think about it. I still think Arsenal are the best team I've seen in this league this season, no doubt. But there's an awful long way to go. And there's no doubt because Arsenal haven't won the league for so long, those supporters, players, manager, everyone will become twitchy in the second half of the season if it becomes time.
Of Arsenal today going into the international break, how significant's that in terms of that title challenge, even in November?
Yeah, I think it's very significant. I think none of the teams, whether it's Liverpool or Arsenal, would want City chasing them. They have experience in chasing or leading, so whatever the back end of the season poses for them, they'll be ready for it. They can draw on past experiences and leaders within the group that have gone through that process. So, yeah, Arsenal obviously will be focused on what they need to do, because if they win their remaining games, they're in control of their own destiny. But again, you'll keep one eye on City because you know if any slips that they'll be there.
An extraordinary end at the Stadium of Light, where Sunderland are still unbeaten since their return to the Premier League. We'll talk about Arsenal and the title in a moment, but Julian had a very brief, but he still knows what it's like to put on a Sunderland shirt at the Stadium of Light. I mean, what a performance they've put in all season, particularly at home, and they're in the top four.
I know, yeah. Performances, like you said, it's not just yesterday. They've been outstanding, very difficult place to go, very intense atmosphere, and as long as they can keep that momentum there throughout the season, that will be the fortress for them and play a massive part in them hopefully staying in the league.
And they've shown some unbelievable character already, but none more so than to come back against Arsenal, who'd won 10 in a row.
Yeah, they've showed it all season. I think you need that. You need that positivity. You need that kind of bounce, coming into the league and things to go your way and fight and scrap for things. And most people would have written them off. Arsenal coming back, looking strong, looking solid, 2-1 up, probably cruise to a win and move on. But fair play to Sunderland, they never give up. A late goal, another point, keeps ticking that points tally up and keeps the momentum up. And the stadium was the energy and as I said, the bounce in the stadium, and big goal for them to carry that into the international break on a high.
And just to put it into perspective, Sunderland scoring 2 against Arsenal, who hadn't conceded in all competitions for 13 and a half hours.
Exactly. It puts it into perspective. I mean, Arsenal's strength really is their defence, isn't it? They've got a great goalkeeper, really good back four. They protect the back four well as well. They play to their strengths and they don't concede many goals. So for a newly promoted team to score 2 goals against them is a brilliant achievement. And who'd have thought that? I mean, the last 6 teams to have come up have all gone back down. Most people predicting the same 3 to go back down that came up this season. But if the first 10, 11 games are anything to go by, Sunderland aren't going to be there. In fact, they're going to be chasing European prizes the way they're going.
In terms of Arsenal, though, they're bitterly disappointed at the draw, but it shows where they're at, how far they've come and the standards they've hit this season. Yeah,
it's the highest level they've got, and consistency's right there. And Mo said they've got a great balance. They are reliant on the defensive side of the team, but they can score goals. And they said as long as they can keep that balance and not just be too reliant on any one department, they'll give themselves a great opportunity to win.
Because obviously they didn't have Jokeres as the centre forward in this game, but they look better equipped, don't they? Ødegaard's been out most of the season to cope with missing players.
Yeah, they've got good balance, they've got good depth. I still think it's almost sparring season in terms of still got the head guard on and the big gloves almost in the fights after Christmas, the real battle, kind of putting yourself in position and jostling for position at the moment, but they certainly look strong. They can win games. They don't give much away, win games different ways. It's Christmas time after Christmas. Who's fit? What's the form looking like then? Finish line comes in sight. All of a sudden, the dynamics change a little bit. But at the moment, they're doing a lot of good things, winning games well for the most part. And they look big contenders. And at the moment, whoever beats them probably wins the league.
Yeah. It's theirs to lose at the moment?
Oof. I mean, possibly. They are a fair few points ahead. I mean, listen, you ask anybody, I think they'd probably say Arsenal are the favourites at the moment. So, yeah, it's going to take a good effort to beat them, because I can't see them dropping too many points. They're very efficient, aren't they? I mean...
Does that bring its own pressures when everyone's now in the past, they haven't been expected. They've been chasing Liverpool and City. Does it bring its own pressure when you're out there to be shot at?
New for them as well.
It is, it is.
New ground.
But I think the way they play is a certain... You know, they're so efficient. Like, if Arsenal play at their very, very best and Liverpool play at the very, very best and Manchester City, I think Arsenal probably still third best. You know, when everybody's at their absolute best. Yeah, I mean, Liverpool can blow anyone off the pitch, and so can Manchester City when they're absolutely on top level. Whereas Arsenal, I can see them not really making many mistakes, grinding away, maybe a few draws, obviously a few wins as well. But just their style of play might just make them plug on all the way and make them very hard to beat.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think their worst game is too dissimilar to their best game, and their levels are pretty close and balanced. But the other two teams that we mentioned, yeah, if they're at their best, they're outstanding. But again, it's not about that. It's about finding consistency throughout the season, and Arsenal seem to have that balance at the moment.
Because when Liverpool or Manchester City win, it feels like they have to play really well, you know, and they can go and win 3-4, 5-0. Whereas I do think that if Liverpool play poorly, they get beat. Whereas if Arsenal play poorly, they will still grind out a 1-0 win or a 2-2 draw or whatever it might be. So that might just play in their favour this season. But as Michael said, long way to go.
Yeah, it's actually, they resume with the North London derby against Spurs, your former club who played your other one in North London. Tottenham, first of all, one home win under Thomas Frank in the league. The natives are getting a little bit frustrated at home. They've got the best away record, but the type of football they want to see at home.
Yeah, and the thing is with that run, Steve, it went into last season as well, so it's almost...
Well, if you include last season, they've lost more home league games than any other Premier League club.
Yeah, so it's almost like not a new issue. It's Thomas Frank's almost inherited that a little bit, and it's something they need to kind of flush out and get rid of, really, and be playing and looking forward to playing and having that atmosphere a little bit like Sunderland, where they're playing at home and it's bouncing and it's the energy, positive energy. At the moment, Tottenham are finding it easier to play, or the results suggest to play, find it easier to play away from home with kind of the atmosphere and a little bit of kind of negativity that creeps in when they play at home for whatever reason. I think they're capable of doing it. They've got some really good players. They've got a terrific manager, in my opinion, and but they do need to do something about it, because you don't need that rumbling on for too long. No.